Hi, in this video I'll be going over the continuation of the C# .NET video tutorials. So this is a continuation from one of the videos in the C# playlist on my channel. So in the last video we talked about pretty much just setting up different classes with properties. In this one we'll do a class with read-only properties as well. So here, for example, we'll have, so I've already set up this class. Not the whole class, but just some of the using directives that you need, and then just the namespace and the class here. So this class will just have, so this is just to demonstrate just how to set up a class for an object, and then how to set up the backing fields with properties and read-only properties. Okay, so here we'll have, for example, private decimal, parts charges, private decimal parts charges, private decimal underscore labor charges. So here we'll have, for example, we'll go with private decimal tax rate. Okay, so here we'll just set up the constructor. So we'll just we'll just reference the class name with the public access modifier. So we'll say public. The reason why you want it to be public is because you want to usually create objects in other classes, but you might want to encapsulate the data, so that's the point of having properties, to make some things private. That's why we have our private backing fields. Okay, so here we'll just say public, we'll just say ServiceQuote. We'll take a parameter here, for example, decimal parts charges, or part charges. Okay, so that should be, actually sorry, so this is going to take a bunch of different parameters. We'll have 3 of them. So it's going to be the exact same thing, we're just going to remove the underscore here, so decimal part charges, decimal labor charges, and then decimal tax rate. So why do we have different parameters in here with matching names to the backing fields? Because when we set up the object, the constructor is just going to be referencing the backing fields. So pretend this is a main method. I maybe didn't discuss this part last time, but that's okay. Well, I talk about it here and there anyways. We've seen me instantiate objects if you're watching a playlist. So pretty much we would just go ServiceQuote. We'd say ServiceQuote, I don't know, obj1 points a new ServiceQuote. So I wouldn't just leave them empty like this, because it would be like, this should also be commented out. That's okay, but in this case we just have, like we would enter some parameters. So public ServiceQuote, so this is our name of the object, type of the object, which is it's the type of class, ServiceQuote class object, or it's an object of type class ServiceQuote, has a private modifier, points a new ServiceQuote. So here we're just instantiating an object. And in this case here, we're just going to pass in. So for example, we're going to pass in a charge for the parts charges. So we can pass something for the parts charges, we'll pass something for the labor charges, and we'll pass something for the tax rate. Right, like that. So that's what would happen when we actually, with a comma there. So when we instantiate this service code objects, we pass in the arguments to the parameters. And these get set up with our backing field. So now it's like, okay, well, I'll show you what's going to happen. So we'll just comment this out because it's like, well, why instantiate an object? It hasn't really set it up yet. And why are you doing it in the same class? Which you might need to, if that'll work. But here pretty much we'll just go with, usually you don't usually do it in a different class. But there might be some way that you want to do that if it's possible. You can always see if it works. Usually I just do it in other classes. Okay, so here we go. So we're just going to access the backing field, parts charges. Points to part charges like that. So I'm just going to point the backing field directly to the parameter. So now it's like, okay, well, I know that my backing field is going to point to this first parameter. So when I have this object here, it's like, okay, well, our parts charges has been inputted to the object. So now this object passed parts charges 50M to the constructor, where it's like, okay, well, it's our object now has part charges. Now the backing field's like, okay, well, the property value has pointed to now 50M. So that's the property value of parts charges, but we haven't really set up the whole thing yet. So for the rest of that, we just do the same. We just reference the backing field. So underscore labor charges points to labor charges here. Then here we'll go with underscore tax rate points to tax rate, like that. Same thing. Okay, what's here? So it's wondering why we have this object here. So I'm going to take this out now. If you want to copy that somewhere, move it up to somewhere else, or copy it down, I don't know, you can just pause the video and go back. Okay, so our constructor set up, so now we'll just set up the properties. So go here with, so we'll just go with parts charges. Remember, the property is going to have no parentheses. So we're just going to go down from the top to the bottom. So here we'll start with parts, or did I say part charges? I wanted it to just be part charges. Part charges, part charges, part charges, like that. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's have some water here. Getting dry from talking too much. Okay, so we have, for example, we'll reference our first property. So let's say we want to have it with a public access modifier, so we can access the property from outside the class while still encapsulating the backing field with private. Don't forget that. We'll talk about inheritance coming up and polymorphism in the next couple of videos. So we have, for example, public here. So we're just going to reference part charges like this. Just going to open. Can we not do that? It should work. Did I include an underscore there or something? Oops, sorry. Should have the type. So public decimal. part charges. Okay. I think I might be messing up something here. Not really. But just to not get mixed up, just with the name, it doesn't seem to have any effect with the actual, basically just like whether it's lowercase or capital. But if you can see, we have our constructors parameter with a lowercase, so maybe I'll just go with the property as a capital. Hopefully I didn't, it should still work because I didn't get any errors last time. But I'm just worried because it might have been the same in the last classes that I did here. Because I said the property was name. Okay, what's the... Okay, so it's a warning. It might have been okay, but just to make sure, maybe just go with the capital for that. So we'll just go with the property name as capital, so we'll say public decimal part charges. And then here we'll go with, so it's a decimal type. So here we're just going to reference the get, and we'll say underscore part charges. No, sorry, return underscore part charges. We want to return the backing field right there. And now here we'll just say set. So we'll say set, open a block, we'll say underscore part charges points to value. Okay, so after that we'll go with the next one. So there's going to be a few, not just 3 of them, there's going to be some read-only properties as well. So go with the next one. So we got this one, we'll go to the next one, underscore labor charges. Public decimal, we'll go with labor charges like that. Labor charges. We'll capitalize this one. So we'll go with labor charges. Open a block. Get. Open a block. Return underscore labor charges. Semicolon. Set. Open a block. Underscore labor charges points to value. Done. Next one. What's the next one? Next one is tax rate. So we'll go with public tax rate. No, sorry, with the type. So public decimal tax rate. Capitalize this one. So public decimal tax rate, open a block. Get, open a block. Return underscore tax rate, camel case, whoops, set, open a block, return, no sorry, underscore tax rate points to value. Is that all 3 of them? 1, 2, 3, that's all 3 of them. Okay, so it's not done yet, we still have read-only properties. Okay, so what is this? So they're going to have different names. It's going to be a little confusing. So far we had parts charges, labor charges, and tax rate. Now we want sales tax, so that's going to be, it's going to be a read-only property, but we're not using the backing field, so it's a little tricky. Sorry, I'm moving the code too fast here. So in this case, we're not going to be referencing our backing fields here. We're just going to go down here. 1, 2, 3. We'll say that we want read-only properties like this. So read-only, or just read-only properties. Then we want, where are we? Okay, so we want a sales tax property which is read-only. So in this case we'll go with public decimal type. Now we can name whatever we want, sales tax. So what we're doing here is we're creating, why is this read-only? Well, because we don't have anything to change. We don't have a sales tax backing field to change, because there is no sales tax here. The sales tax backing field is missing. In that case, we just want to have another property that's just basically made up of other properties, where we're not going to be mutating the actual backing field. We're not going to be setting the backing field, we're just going to be accessing the backing field. In this case, you're just accessing the backing field. That becomes a getter, or just a get property, which is an accessor property. In that case, we're just going to be having it, we're just going to have it as read only in that case. Okay. So then here we'll just open a block. So public decimal sales tax, it's read only. So in this case, we're just going to have a get, because read only has a get. The read only properties only have get, accessor. Okay, so we just have get, open a block here. We're just going to return, in this case, something more than just one thing. So we're going to return underscore part charges times underscore tax rate. But these are going to be the backing field, so return underscore part charges times underscore tax rate. That'll give you the sales tax. Excuse me. To go to the next, or actually this is the last one here. So we'll just gonna have another read-only property. So public decimal total charges. We'll open a block. So here we'll say get. We'll say that we want to have a read-only property that's total charges, meaning that it's just going to be an accessor. We don't have a backing field for total charges, so we're just going to be returning the value or accessing it and not mutating it or setting it. In this case, we'll say return underscore part charges plus the backing field labor charges plus the backing field, this is going to be the backing field part charges times the times the tax rate. Times the backing field tax rate. Whoops. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. So that's the end of the tutorial. In the next video, we'll be going over creating a multi-form app, or a few of them. So we'll be just doing a few code examples, and we'll be doing some labs. Then we'll be moving into polymorphism, so inheritance and polymorphism, and then finally just databases, and that'll wrap up csharp.net. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys liked the video, you can like and subscribe to support the channel for more programming and investing tutorials. So the rest of the videos are going to be in the csharp.net playlist on my channel. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Take care. Thanks.